So I want to talk about data science, and as you might know, it's one of the most influential fields of the 21st century. It's been growing like crazy these past few years with thousands of jobs created every single year. Each year, new tools and libraries come out to help increase our capabilities and improve our workflows. With that, more and more people tend to focus on the technical side of the job, try to improve their coding efficiency, try to dive into more complex modeling such as CNNs, RNNs with techniques like backpropagation, etc. That's great and probably very necessary, but I personally think there's an aspect to data science that is much more important. That is the importance of asking questions. I don't know about you guys, but for the most part of my schooling career, I barely asked any questions. Don't get me wrong, I definitely did have questions to ask, but I just felt like it would be a burden or a nuisance to ask them. I didn't want to come across as stupid or waste anyone's time, so I decided to keep it to myself and figure it out. My focus was to just get through with the classes, mind my own business, and move on to the next step, project, or class. Now that I'm actively working in a startup environment, I see firsthand how important it is to actually ask questions. To those of you who don't know me, hi, welcome, I'm Ranesh, and I work in a data science department at a startup. I work with a lot of talented and smart individuals who come from different backgrounds and have unique advantages. One thing I noticed that they all do from the get-go is ask questions at every step. It could be any time a product initiative is brought up, a ticket comes in, or a stakeholder project is being discussed. Asking questions in these scenarios can be as simple as, is this project necessary? What is the outcome or the end goal you're looking for? What kind of data do you need? How far back do you want me to pull the data from? What format are you looking for? Stuff like that. All these questions help you clarify the business task and make you a better data scientist altogether. Sometimes asking these questions can also save you a lot of work too. For example, I've had times where asking questions has resulted in the realization that the projects are not necessary, or maybe it was repetitive or redundant. Sometimes what they're asking for isn't even possible due to PII concerns or the lack of data or maybe bad data quality. Other times the stakeholder might not even know what they want and then go down a rabbit hole with you, asking for different data or analysis over and over again until you realize that they don't understand what they actually want. I personally think it's best to get these things sorted from the start, have a clear understanding of the business task, and then move on from there. On top of that, I found that asking questions has helped me grow tremendously, helping me understand the technical components of machine learning and also growing within my company and understanding how to bring models to life. When I first got started in data science, I was very eager to showcase my skills and wanted to go in head first on my first project. I wanted to build out a neural net to solve a straightforward problem that a simple tree-based model could have solved. I was lucky enough to have a good mentor and boss who asked good questions and which ultimately guided me and directed me to a better implementation mindset, considering all the factors and understanding complexity and when it's necessary and when it's not. Now I tend to ask questions like, what is the end goal of this project, or what are you looking to get out of this, to stakeholders so I can better understand them and put myself in their shoes. Sometimes predictability isn't the end goal and interpretation matters more, so it's important to take those factors into consideration when you're building out your models. So yeah, with situations like that, PCAs or ANNs might not be the best choice when it comes to machine learning modeling to best serve your stakeholders. Now this doesn't only apply to that aspect of the job, it can apply to other areas too, like interviews. Personally, the best interview experiences that I've ever had are usually interactive interviews where the candidates ask questions to bounce back and reflect on my questions so that they can clarify what I'm actually looking for and answer those questions better. The best question I've ever been asked in an interview is, throughout this interview, was there anything that I could have clarified better on my part to help you understand my skill set and my technical ability and to understand if I'm a good fit for the job? And yes, before you guys ask, the candidate was offered the position. I've also seen other candidates use different questions, like more personal questions catered to interviewers, which help build a more personal relationship with your interviewer so that you're more memorable in their memory when they're reflecting and picking a candidate. So yeah, stuff like that, questions like that will help build a better relationship when it comes to job interviews, so keep that in mind. A lot of people tend to think data science or data analytics is a very linear process and very procedural. I personally disagree. I think having a dynamic workflow or approach when it comes to solving varying or different business problems can set you apart. Not only can you save yourself a lot of time, but you can also provide more valuable data-driven insights to your stakeholders based on your understanding of the individual business task itself, providing more relevant or clarified feedback based on the questions you've asked. Yes, there are aspects of the data workflow that are procedural. However, oftentimes when you take a holistic approach when trying to solve these problems, you'll notice that the problem itself can differ greatly from problem to problem. So the mindset and approach you take might differ too. And honestly speaking, a lot of the time, most people don't even fully understand the problem they're trying to solve before attempting to solve it. And that's fine, because sometimes you don't have all the information you need to solve that problem, but I do think that asking questions is the best way to set yourself up for success when it comes to approaching problems or solving a business task. Now, this doesn't mean you should be asking questions at every chance you get. I still believe there are times where you should be independent. Personally, I like to follow the 10-minute rule, which basically states if it takes you less than 10 minutes to solve the problem, figure it out yourself. For example, if you're having trouble understanding a specific concept from a product launch, I would look at the documentation first, understand or see if the information you need is there, and then decide if it's necessary to ask someone else. Asking questions ultimately allows you to increase your personal value and your perceived value to your stakeholders. The better the questions you ask, the more time you will save and the better you'll become. Maybe you're like me and you used to view asking questions as a failure. A big part of your job as a data scientist is to learn, and failure is a part of that process, so fail quick and fail fast. The same way you run experiments or trials to determine the best route moving forward is the same way you should view asking questions. And like I said before, you're only going to get better at it with the more questions you ask. If that's you, I hope this message reaches you well. You can never really fail if you don't give up. Anyway, that's about it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, I would appreciate if you left a like down below. I actually posted a blog about this exact topic almost a year ago, and a lot of people seem to resonate with it, which is why I wanted to make a video. If you like this type of content, do consider subscribing, as it helps the channel a lot, and we post videos like this every single week. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to leave them down below. I'll do my best to respond in a timely manner. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.